What is up, YouTubers, gamers, and fellow hobbyists out there, and welcome to On the Bench with Pete, the series that you put on in the background whilst you hobby or paint along with me. And now, those of you that regularly follow this, you'll see it's a new camera angle. Although the desk has been moved, the camera tripod is now on the other side, back on the same side as it was when the desk was up that end of the studio. So I think that's a better angle, and I think it's going to be a better angle for doing things like tutorials and such like. I want to do tutorials, and I've done them before. I enjoy doing them, but they take a lot of work. So I'm thinking tutorials are not going to be happening as regularly as like my regular show here, like my On the Bench series, which is every week, you'll notice. But like I say, if you're new to this series, it's the series you put on in the background whilst you're doing a bit of hobby yourself. So if you've got a load of production line things to do, a load of Germans, a load of Orcs, a load of Space Marines, whatever it may be, it's ideal for that, because it's going to be about an hour of painting, and together we get stuff done. Now I've got I bought myself during the week actually a Citadel paint pot. I'm being steady because I've got water in it now, and the reason I got this is because of, well, the brush cleaning properties of it. I thought I'd try them out. I've been using a bowl for the longest of time now. I thought I'll treat myself to a Citadel paint pot, see what all the fuss is about. Anyway, got my coffee raring to go. I've got another jar just in case I do any metallics. I've got my soap dish for cleaning my brushes. Got my palettes, which are basically just coffee mate lids at the moment. And I'm going to be working on some Zombicide stuff, amongst other things, hopefully today. And so I've got a few things you may know from the last episode. I've got a few things prepped. So all the core box set washed, and I've prepped a few, and I'm gonna go with that. Now I've been watching Duncan Rhodes Painting Academy, and he did a few tips on zombie skin, and perhaps I'm gonna do a similar thing. He did 3 different ones, like one that has been. He did one paint scheme for flesh on zombies that have been a zombie for a while, so really rotting and decayed. He did one that was a bit more recent, but still an obvious zombie. And he did ones that are perhaps, fallen in a swamp or marsh or something kind of thing. So I might do a mixture amongst my minis, but we'll see. But today's task is going to be to prime some, at least the characters, and some of the other ones. I got some paints during the week as well. I picked up a cultist's robe, and I can't decide whether it's grey or green. I think it's green, but it's like a green grey. But I'm gonna put it in the greys, because grey is where I would go for my more cloak type thing. So it's the fact that it's called cultist robe, I'm gonna put it in there. Now I've also picked up matte black and matte white by Army Painter, so I'm putting them in the whites. And I've also picked up one called Spaceship Exterior, which is like an off white, so that's gonna go in there as well, in with my whites. But they're out of the way now. Now I've got to locate myself a brush. Trying to remember where my good brushes are. I've got my glasses here because I will need that to work from. And now what I'm going to be needing to do is to pop. See, I've got the Zombicide core set characters here, but they're on their cards, because I'm going to be using the cards to get the colour schemes from. So I want them off of their cards, way off of their cards. I don't want to get any paint splatter on the cards. So going to be covering the cards up. Let's pop that under there, like so. Then another sheet for cleaning my brushes. You'd think I'd get this organised beforehand, wouldn't you? But I didn't. It's Saturday today, so it's the first of my 2 days off from where I work currently, and I'll talk about that a little bit more in in the actual session. First of all, we need to ascertain the camera angle. So I'm going to go camera down to the table. Okay, I think this is pretty good angle at the moment. So grey by Vallejo, just bog standard surface primer. That's what I'm going to be using for the characters. Primer, bog standard grey. That's right. So let's just give that a bit of a shake, and I'm going to be putting it on one of the palettes I've got here. Give it a bit more of a shake up. Oh, whilst I find a brush, and then we're going to talk. Oh, this one, good size 2 brush. Doesn't look well used. I've got Astra Militarum on the table as well. I've got Aliens, and I've got some Lord of the Rings stuff, and just a fantasy generic Reaper Bones on. I've got Dave on the desk. You guys know this. He's there. He's gonna. You need some basing done on him as well, Dave. Right, so I'm gonna pop some of this primer out onto my palette. That's quite a nice amount there. I'm just wondering if I need anything to sort of thin it down. I don't think I do. I've got a thinner medium. I might just put one little. No, actually, I'm going to use water. I'm going to use plain water to do this. Now, looking for what would be a mixing brush. Okay, so I've got this old Winsor & Newton Series 2 brush here. So these paint pots are really quite superb. Now, the only thing with hand brushing grey primers on, I've found, or whites even, any sort of light primer is, you get a lot of bubbling, so you've got to be very careful. This is why this is going to take a bit longer, you see. Let's see if we can zoom in a little more here. I need to talk about my job. Well, as you know, I enjoy my job, and I'm on a team. Now, the rest of the team are all sort of up at HQ at the moment, what we call HQ. They're doing other stuff, and I feel a little bit guilty that I'm not up there. But it's kind of the nature of my condition, and I find it, I really do need my 2 days off. It's more recovery days than anything, because experience has taught me in the past, and sorry for those of you that already know this, and I'll be boring you with it. So experience has taught me if I don't recover, I will get poorly. My body will end up shutting down, and then I'll be off for even longer than 2 days. So I don't want that, obviously. And you know, over the years, I've come to manage my condition pretty well, I think. I can now anticipate a lot of what's going to go on with me and things like that. So I'm pretty chuffed. I do feel slightly guilty that I'm not up there doing the, ready for work today. I can't talk about what the nature of the work is, but just, I should be assured it is work. But to anybody that may be watching this and knows the situation, I'm there in spirit, guys. I'm there in spirit. But yeah, I've also been a little bit concerned this last week. I haven't been concerned, but I've been, I don't know, feeling as if the project is winding down, which in a way I suppose it is, because it's a short-lived project, see, and that's the nature of this sort of thing. So obviously I'm wondering about, the future and, what's going to become of me and so on and so forth. I have looked into other roles that I could possibly do within the police. So I'm hopefully something's going to come up there. I do hope so, because I enjoy it. I like the whole ethos, the way things are, the environment. I enjoy it, and it would be good if I could get something more local to where I am, so that even if I can't work from home, it's only local and it's not too far to travel. Then that would be awesome. But one thing this whole job, situation has taught me is the ease and value of working from home and how easy it can be done. I'm pretty shocked by how easy I took to it, really. It was very, very strange at first, I'll be honest, it was. But I quickly adapted to it, and now I've come to love it. It's great. Enables me to keep an eye on things at home as well. One of my dogs is very poorly right now, and it's good for things like that, Mrs. Mini Warzone, she works from home as well, but I see her less than before, because she's up in the office all day when she works. She's just had this last week off, first time off since Christmas, actually, so well deserved, and she's had a good week off, which is great. So she's been out doing stuff and all that, and I've been on my Todd in the house. It's been quite bizarre, very quiet. So as you can see, I'm doing this here, by the way. It's very slow going, because I'm trying to get the bubbles all out, and it's not easy, because if the bubbles dry in place, it doesn't look great. So, and as you can see, this is just a light covering of primer, which is what you really need. It's just a primer. So I wonder if I can lift my camera up a bit. Oops. How's that? Not bad, is it? I will change the angle of camera from time to time. There are birds singing outside, which is nice. I enjoy that. Had a great day here yesterday, weather-wise. It was wonderful. Don't often get nice weather, but it was wonderful. And it started off nice this morning, but I think it's going to rain later, which is a shame. So these characters are going to be good. I'm contemplating doing a non-metallic metal on his swords, just because I haven't done it for a while. I quite enjoy that. Right, so I won't paint the base. Actually, I'll paint the rim of the base, because that will be painted. Not sure what colour I'm going to do these yet. I think I'll do all heroes in a certain colour. Maybe grey, maybe grey. Like a Mechanicus standard grey or something like that. And then all baddies can be black. Who knows? I don't know. Or do it like I've done it before. Maybe all the core box set will be a certain colour. Because as you saw, well, I know you didn't, that was a different video. I've got the Wolfsburg expansion for this now. You don't get a lot of miniatures in it. There's only like 4 more heroes and 3 wolves and an abomination. A wolf abomination, I should say. Probably why it's called Wolfsburg, I don't know. Just a guess. And yeah. Right, so I think I'm happy with him. No? I just realised I've been using my crappy brush to prime them with as well. Gonna be that. It was going to be that number 2 brush, so pop that brush to one side. It's got lips on the edge of the Citadel paint pot to rest your brush in. That's good. Right, now this is, I think this is like the warrior nun model. This is the one my daughter likes the look of. She always likes that sort of thing, you know. She liked Amy from the original Zombicide because she had the katana. I thought that was really badass. And this one's got 2 swords here now, one in each hand. Or a sword and a long knife blade. It's a very thin coat going on here. I suppose though that's all it really needs. Anyway, yeah, so nature of my condition causes me to jump through topics like I don't know what. So I'll go back to work now. Yeah, so I'm off today essentially. I will say this though, met some great people on this job, and I'm truly grateful for that. If I hadn't made that leap and decided, yep, I will have a go at this, I would never have met them. So I'm glad I did. Because when you meet new people, I mean, you meet them essentially, and you get to know them, and you've got the knowledge of them for life, then, haven't you? So you know they can become great friends and associates, and you know friendships blossom. It's nice. I've got to be careful with the bubbles here on this one too. Try not to get too complacent, which is always a danger. It's going to be an easy pose to paint this one, so by the way she stood. Some folds in the cloth, which is nice as well. And she's got dark robes, like almost black. The only thing with the artwork is it's got that cartoony kind of colour to it, so black will have a very purple undertone, or blue, or whatever. So you just got to be aware of that. Do you paint it in that same vein, or do you try and go for more realism as you paint, or what do you do? Oh, and I've got a question for anybody out there that may know the answer. Like I say, I've got the Wolfsburg expansion for Zombicide Black Plague, but what do I need to kind of bolster my zombies and baddies? Is there an expansion or pack that I can get that will do that? One thing I have noticed about Zombicide Black Plague is it's a lot more expensive. Quite expensive compared to the others. But if that's the only downside, I'm not complaining, you know? Not complaining at all. Yeah, I think she's done now. Okay, pop her to one side. I don't know their names yet, sorry. I will though, I will. I'll get to know their names and then I'll know them as well as I do the original Zombicide crew. They had some great characters in their expansions for Zombicide too. Some real kick-ass characters. I really enjoyed them. I think as a game, it's my most played game. Over the years, I'm talking. I would like to get more gaming in with Warhammer though. That's kind of a goal. That is a goal of mine. I know some of you are into Blood Bowl out there. I've never looked into that, I'll be honest. I have looked into Guild Ball, which is kind of more of an like the English football version, whereas Blood Bowl is more like the American football, isn't it? But yeah, Guild Ball has always looked interesting to me. Once I've done this character, I think I'm going to stop and take some coffee, ingest some coffee. Got regular decaf today, so cutting down on the old caffeine. Oh, my daughter has secured a new job. She starts in a week, I think. And it's a like a call center type job with about 3 weeks, I think, of training. So that's going to be good. And it'll be her first foray into full-time work as well, which is something we've said she should be looking at. And she knows she's got to as well. And she's waiting on hearing about an apprenticeship as well, so the usual stuff there. So but in the meantime, she can earn a lot better money. And she's she wants to move out as well, so she knows, and she said, no, I'm not going to be able to do it unless I get full-time work, which is true. No one can afford to move out on their own on a part-time wage. It's just not doable. Not down here anyway, it's not. So there is that. So we can't knock someone in their independence. Difficult when you're young, I know. Oftentimes you end up having to sort of flat share or something with someone. That's another way you meet good friends that way, don't you? Yeah. Okay. I wish I knew this dude's name. I wish I knew all their names, and if anybody knows Zombicide, Black Plague, you'd be screaming out their names at the screen right now. Oh, come on, man. It's Thingamajigger, No, I don't. And I'm afraid I don't. So I've got a new rug for Mini Warzone, actually. My office chair is upon it now. It's lovely underfoot. Really nice. And it'll protect the floor a bit more from, the wheels of my chair as I move backwards and forwards upon it, which is good. This is going to really take some doing, this one. Yeah, so for me, as far as I'm concerned with jobs, I've gained a lot of experience with the job I'm doing. Some of it can be laborious, like proofreading, like lots of numbery type stuff, or laborious stuff, but on the whole, very enjoyable. Can hurt your eyes a bit though if you don't take eye breaks. I found if I don't, I get a headache. So, it's all a learning curve, isn't it? Yeah, so if anybody does know, so I'm going to cough. If anybody does know what the expansion is called for getting more baddies for Zombicide Black Plague, please let me know in the comments below, and I can look into it then. Once these are all done, because I'm reading through the rulebook as well. Still got a ways to go. It takes time because you need the time to be able to do it. So in bed usually. Right. I'm going to stop, and I'm going to. Well, I'll put my favourite character into view, which is a dwarf. He looks to be as if he's going to be my favourite character. Oh, I'm going to have a sip of coffee. Where do we want him? There, about there. Yeah. I don't know what he's called either, but he looks really cool. So I'm going to have my coffee now. Ah, Yeah, boy. Oh, last time I might have been talking about getting another set of rainbow coloured drawers on wheels. I managed to locate and get myself some. Good old Amazon it was, I'm afraid. Well, I'm not afraid. It's good because, you know, you get next day delivery and stuff like that with it. So, yeah, Amazon to the rescue. Did good. Am I still considering the 8s? Yes, I am, actually. As it happens, I am. I am very much considering it. It might mean moving the ones I got up slightly. That's going to be a pain because that means I would have to move my bookcase up slightly as well. But I'm okay with that. You know, these things need doing. I've got to do another showcase at some point, so I can't do that till my other desk is clear, which is now to my right. So I'm thinking of doing Necrons. What do you reckon? Necrons. Yeah, I might showcase my Necrons. Who knows? Who knows? I don't know. Yeah. So when I primed these and look at the time, well, it's taken me half the time with the intro to get to where I am now. Oh, excuse me. And that is that's just one on the bench, you know. But this is what on the bench is designed to do, is to do these laborious tasks. So I'll have another look at him. See if he needs any more cleaning up. See, a lot of it looks worse because it's just bare plastic. You see, yeah, a lot of it is just because it's bare plastic, and it makes it look worse, I think, until you get some paint on there. Because it takes away the extra depths that flash can cause. Yeah. Oh well, onwards and upwards. Let's go. Let's crack on. Do some more. I'm well ahead with my on the benches. Just to say, I'm on course with on the bench. Actually, looking at his hammer there for a bit of. There is a mould line, a slight mould line, which will show up the moment I put the paint on. See, I know it doesn't look bad now; it will look hideous. That's a good tip for when you're doing the model as well. If you're going to airbrush the primer on, just do a light dusting from the up above as if you're doing a zenithal highlight, and it will show up all the mould lines. Guarantee. So be prepared. Be prepared for that. Gotta love dwarves, though, aren't you? Dwarves themselves, just by being dwarves, are pretty badass, in my opinion. I've always liked dwarves. What I like to do at the weekends is have a total break from everything. Job searching, everything. Then find a little bit of time in one of the days to do this, and that helps to keep, you know, a good balance for me. It really does. Right. Mythos, if you're watching, I'll just say thank you for putting that idea of writing a book about MS into my head. You've really given me something to think about now, and I am going to seriously consider it. Not a big book, just a little book about how I deal with MS, how I've tackled it, and how I cope with it, how I manage it, and perhaps I can give inspiration to others then that way if I do that. And who knows, perhaps I can get that printed on Amazon as well, maybe you never know. Talking of books also, because I know Mythos watches these, and I want to say, you did give permission a while ago, but I'm just to let you know, you are now officially a character in a book, Mythos. You are. Mrs. Mini Warzone has immortalised you in print, and there you are. Yeah, so in her new book she's currently writing, you are in it. Yes, you are. And guess what? I'll give you a little bit of little tiny bit of snippet. I'm sure Mrs. Mini Warzone won't mind, but I'm not going to give too much away without talking things through with her first. But your character, think sort of post-apocalyptic world, and there are settled outposts, and there are zones, and those zones are kind of like a controlled environment under a dome, all safe and nice, blah blah. Bit 1984 though, kind of run Big Brother style. And then there are like settler outposts in the outside world, which they perpetuate within the zone. Is can't happen because it's not possible. But you are in one of these outposts, and you are actually head of security. Get that? Mrs. Mini Warzone didn't even know what you do for a living, but you are head of security in an outpost, and you are pretty awesome. Great character. Yeah, so thank you for that. Right, so it's easy enough covering these models with primer, but you've got to really go over it to get the bubbles out, which is why I'm going over it and over it and over it. The coverage is not the problem, it's not the issue, but it is the getting of the eliminating the bubbles. That is the thing. Yeah, it will be worth it though. It's already gone up, way up in excellence just by putting the primer on, because it takes away all the layers of what the perceived layers caused by flash. You can't see that anymore, which is great. Yeah, there we go. Mr. Dwarf. Yeah. That's much better. Dwarf done. Okay, next we have another female character who again might suffer the same layering deal with the flash. What I mean by that is the flash looks glary obvious, but as soon as you put it's not actually flash, it's where the flash was, and of course when you put the paint over it, it's gone, which is the point, I suppose. Whereas if you leave a slight mold line, and then paint over it. It shows up like a neon light. There you go. It's rapidly getting to the point where I'm going to need to start proofreading Mrs. Mini Warzone's new book, which I'm super excited about because I get to read it firsthand, as I go through it. I mean, I know bits and pieces of it, and I have helped with fleshing out story ideas, but I mean, ultimately, I only know little bits and pieces. So I'm really looking forward to getting to read the whole thing. Once the first draft is about halfway done, then I will start proofreading that first draft, creating a second draft, which will then go back, be elaborated upon, and will then become the third draft, which I will then look at again. A similar process, and then it'll be the fourth draft. Then we'll go through that again, similar process. Then I will just repeat the proofread again to make sure I don't miss anything. Fifth draft, and again sixth draft, and then beta readers. And that's how we do it. Yeah. Mrs. Mini Warzone was able to get some writing done this morning as well, which is good because she likes to write at the weekend. It's all good. Oh, I have some news. I am thinking of doing another P&Q for the summer, a summer special P&Q, and because it only comes around once a year, so I will put that in a Chill with Pete, that announcement. But I'll take any questions if you have any now. I will certainly add them to a list of questions that I will be doing. Now, if anybody out there doesn't know what P&Q is, that used to be my question and answer series that I used to do years ago every week without fail. I never missed a beat. Then I moved it to once a month, and then eventually now just for special occasions. I think summer is worth celebrating, don't you? I think so. That's just me. Right. There she is. And last but not least, we've got this chappy here, a big cloak. Yeah, could be an elf. The thing about Zombicide is there's just so many characters that you can get for your heroes, and that's great. I do feel I need an extra box of zombies, though. I do. Probably thinking I'm mad, given the amount that you get in the core box set, but you soon use them up. Believe you me, I know. And to me, although it's catered for in the rules, like when you run out of zombies, that's it. But that, to me, that kind of sucks. Oh, on that painting tutorial, Doug Herodes, he primed those zombie models in like a desert tan almost. It was like a sort of sandy yellow almost. I don't know if I've still got any yellow primer. Don't think I have, but If I have, then great. But if I haven't, then I'll have to get creative. Don't know if I want to prime any black. I might do the odd one here and there. Oh, I was talking to my wife about my old house where I grew up as a child before my family moved to Plymouth. I spent the first 10 years of my life in a town called Seaton, and I loved it there. And I loved the house we live in. I was telling her about it. She said, "Oh, we'll have to look it up on like Google Earth and that." And I think she's kind of fallen in love with it as well. So she said, "We're going to live there. We are going to buy that house one day. We are going to do it." And you know what? I think we could do it. Our lives are changing so much. I think, yeah, that is doable. That is possible. Oops. Haven't done that for a while. Oh, I forgot to paint the edges of the bases on my other models. Better go back and do that. First we'll paint the ridge of the base on this one. So they are all going to be painted. I just don't know what colour yet. I'm not going to put any more paint on the actual top of the base, as that will probably have just texture. Bubbles everywhere. Right. Oh, come on. Don't rush it, Pete. Don't rush it. And that's what you got to do. Not rush it. That's how you miss things. Right. That. Let's have a look in here. That is awesome. What time have we got? 48 minutes. Oh, I do have to paint the rims. Still. Not paint the rims, prime the rims. You know what I mean. That's what I mean. So my studio is changing. I've been moving it around. I've got rid of a lot of clutter, which is good, right? Gonna have a takeaway tonight. Didn't have it last night because our daughter was working, and it's nice to have a takeaway together. So we are thinking Chinese tonight. Yeah. I'm still down with the vegetarian stuff. So vegetable curry it is, and then they do an amazing vegetable curry. Yeah, I haven't eaten meat in about 3 months, which is great. I feel fantastic. Internally, anyway. As in, my digestive system just never felt better. Right, I am going to clean my brush. Nice, got little grooves in the side of the pot too, which you can run your brush up to get it into a point, which is really nice. I like that. They've really thought of everything. Now I'll just do a generic soap clean. Awesome. There. So my number 2 brush is clean once again. Now I've got some zombies, and I've got an abomination and a necromancer to do. The abomination, it's not as big as the abominations you get in some of the other sets. Have some coffee, but I don't know. He is big though. He is big. Oh, I've just spotted a sort of desert yellowy type what's this? Primer. Dark yellow. Oh, perfect. That'll do. That'll do, donkey. That will do for these, I think, these zombies. Yeah, I mean, even the necromancer. I don't know, maybe the necromancer. No, I'm going to do him in light colours as well, I think. But, yeah. Like this palette. I can get these done up in that. I'm not sure how the yellow bubbles. I'll probably leave this for another video, actually. Thinking about it, yes I will. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my glasses off. I'm going to zoom in at the camera. And I'm going to adjust the camera. There we go. There I am. There I am. So, so I got 6 models primed. Well, it's not a lot, is it, in an hour? And I realised if I airbrushed them or if I used an aerosol rattle can, I could have primed them in seconds. But I do like to go over the model by hand. I get to know the model that way. I get to see all the nooks and crannies. If anything is likely to be more difficult, I can start thinking about what brush to use, or go just looking over it, any sort of colour schemes that might not be covered by the cover art, perhaps, you know, on the back or backpacks, things like that, which you don't see on the artwork. So just gonna have a sip of coffee. Yeah, it's got my dark yellow ready for the next slide. It's a very browny yellow colour. It's not quite what I used on the Duncan Rhodes Painting Academy, but I think it'll do just fine and dandy. Right, so I'm going to leave it there, guys. Let me know in the comments below what you're working on. If you do know what set I need to get some more zombies for Zombicide Black Plague, let me know in the comments for that as well. Like if you like the video, dislike if you dislike it, but if you do like it, share it around if you can. That'd be awesome. Really does help me big style. And if you really want to support me, check out my Patreon account, link on the home screen of my channel. Just click on the Patreon thing just under the banner, and it will take you to my Patreon account, where you can find out about all the different levels of access to exclusive videos, and starting from $1 per month, list of names going by of my current patrons, so they get access to exclusive videos. And I'm probably going to make another one for them after this, so I will see you guys on another video. But until then, remember, all brushes lead to war. Bye for now.